The Mandela Effect does not just stick to one specific area. From the UK to all over the world, these Mandela Effects will make your head turn sideways. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we count down another 10 Mandela Effects. Coming in at number 10, we have Fairy Liquid. When we look at Fairy Liquid, you can picture all its details. From its iconic bottle shape to Busy, the baby mascot that represents the company's brand. But do you remember Fairy Liquid adverts having a fairy along with Busy the baby? If so, you are not alone with 249 upvotes, a Reddit user posted. I swear I remember the Fairy Liquid advert having a fairy on it that waved its wand and sparkled the dishes. I must have imagined that, as I can't find it anywhere, with others responding with, you may be right. Well, my evening will be spent digging through YouTube, trying to find evidence of this shared memory. And another. I remember that advert also, I'm sure. It flew around, then tapped each dish on the edge and made it sparkle with its magic touch. But for those who remember this, you would be mistaken because there was never a fairy associated with the brand. In at number 9, we have Walker's Crisps. There is nothing like coming home after a long day to be greeted with a nice sandwich and a bag of Walker's Crisps, whichever you pick. Salt and vinegar or cheese and onion. Well, for many of us growing up with this iconic snack, we may remember the blue packet being salt and vinegar and the green packet being cheese and onion, thinking the packet colors had swapped colors in the early to mid-2000s. Well, you may be shocked to find out that this is not the case. Blue has always been cheese and onion, and green has always been salt and vinegar. Reddit post about this Mandela Effect. Did Walkers swap the colors of salt and vinegar and cheese and onion? Yeah, they literally did. It was around the time they had Salt Lineker and Cheese Owen, after Gary Lineker and Michael Owen. Maybe 96, 97? I remember it clearly. Fuck knows why. 2. Yes, I vividly remember Walker's Cheese and Onion having green bags in the early 2000s. I didn't know they refuted this, though. Bizarre. 3. I 100% remember they did, and it pissed me off. 4. Born in 95. I always thought cheese and onion were blue by default and salt and vinegar green, as our family only really bought Walker's Crisps. 5. I seem to remember this too. I remember something about them swapping, or at least I remember suddenly realizing they were different to other brands as they were the opposite of what they should be. I remember realizing this when I was around 10-12, so it would have been late 90s, early 2000s. Pretty sure it was a swap because I have a memory of going to the local spa to buy cheese and onion and being really disappointed because I had bought salt and vinegar, which I didn't like as much. It is important to note that in United States they have an alternative called Lay's, which is very similar to Walker's and its logo. And for Lay's, blue is salt and vinegar and green is green onion. But in the UK, it has never been the case. It is also important to note that Golden Wonder Crisps, salt and vinegar are blue, and the cheese and onion are green, and this is the same with Disco's Flavor Crisps as well. So this is where the confusion may have come from. So what do you remember? Please leave your polite opinion in the comments. Fruit of the Loom comes in at 8. Founded in 1851 by brothers Benjamin and Robert Knight in Warwick, Rhode Island. Fruit of the Loom is one of the world's oldest brands. Fruit of the Loom is popular in Europe and is well established in the region. But what looks wrong with this logo? Well, you may be surprised to know that this is not the correct logo. And the correct logo that represents the brand is this. Fruit of the Loom does not have a fruit basket behind the fruit. And at number 7, we have Febreze. Febreze is a popular air freshener brand in the UK. In 2023, an estimated 6.7 million people in Great Britain used Febreze. Febreze is one of the top air freshener brands in the UK, along with Airwick, Glade, Yankee Candle, and Charm. But can you tell me what's wrong with this logo? Oh, you better drop one of those letter E's because Febreze only has 3 E's and not double E's together. KitKat comes in at number 6. You might be surprised to learn how long the moniker KitKat has been in use. Despite some disagreement, it appears to have started in a British literary club in the 18th century called for Christopher Catling, sometimes known as KitKat. The candy bar could have been named after a nickname, thus it seems understandable that it doesn't contain a hyphen, even if many people remember it that way. At number 5, we have Mr. Monopoly. Monopoly is a real estate board game for 2 to 8 players. The player's goal is to remain financially solvent while forcing opponents into bankruptcy by buying and developing pieces of property. But contrary to popular belief, rich Uncle Pennybags, the Monopoly guy, does not wear a monocle. And at number 4, we have the Tale of Snoopy. Snoopy is a devoted, creative, and amiable beagle who frequently imagines himself in fantastical roles such as a novelist, a World War I flying ace, a lawyer, or a college student known as Joe Cool. But what color is the tail of Snoopy? It is actually white with a tiny black mark on it, unlike what some people may claim. Henry VIII comes in at 3. Hans Holbein, the Younger's lost artwork, shows Henry VIII. It is among the most recognizable pictures of Henry VIII, and one of the most well-known portraits of any king or queen in England or Britain. In this famous picture, some people believe Henry VIII is clutching a turkey leg, but in reality, it's his gloves. Number 2, "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood" isn't the first line of the Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood theme tune, despite what many people recall. Actually, the statement is, "It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood." Looney Tunes come in at 2. The 90-year-old animated series Looney Tunes has received high praise from critics. With characters like Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tweety, Sylvester, and others, the program has a vibrant and varied cast of characters who thrill children and adults worldwide with their joyful pandemonium. The cartoon's title, Looney Tunes. If you believe so, then you are mistaken, because it is in fact Looney Tunes, and not tunes. In the Saw movie series, Jigsaw actually says, "What?" Saw is a 2004 American horror film directed by James Wan in his feature directorial debut and written by Lee Wannell. It is the first installment in the Saw film series and stars Wannell alongside Cary Elwes, Danny Glover, Monica Potter, Michael Emerson, and Ken Leung. But you will be shocked to find out that the movie's most iconic used line is actually, "I want to play a game," and not, "Do you want to play a game?" It is scary to think one or two things. Either the Mandela effects are real, and for those who this has affected, we have been pulled into a universe that is not our own. Or, 2, our brains are playing tricks on us en masse, wreaking havoc with our memories until we drive ourselves stir-crazy, to the point of no return. I think this is always the fact that the outcome is still extremely strange and a little bit scary. Leave a polite comment to say whether or not you have been a victim of the Mandela effects on this list. Remember to like and subscribe, share this video with your friends and family, and I will see you all in another video. Goodbye.